First of all, I only forgive you if you genuinely are currently under your husband's course of control and manipulation and aren't a narcissist or psychopath yourself also, and gislaining and getting off to the abuse of your husband's victim or victims. I was abused by husbands like yours. I understand how cunning, intelligent, and manipulative they are. Yes, they started grooming and abusing me when I was a child, but don't think that that makes you immune to their manipulation just because you're an adult. Look, you're married to a PDF file. You're married to them. By that alone, you're under their manipulation. You've allowed them to marry you unknowingly, I hope. You're believing their lies when they tell you they didn't do it. The evidence is overwhelming, and you're just not looking at the evidence because you're too afraid to. I lived the evidence. And ignorance isn't bliss. It's delusion. It is. It's delusion on your part, okay? That's not reality. The man you think you're married to, it's not who he is, okay? So facts are, standing with your husband, if you're doing that right now, you are living and participating in a lie, a sham, a delusion. And what is that lie, sham, and delusion for? For your husband to get away with the crimes. You're participating in that. You are participating in your husband's facade cleanup campaign. You are complicit in a victim not receiving justice. I'm not saying this to shame you. As I've stated, I understand your perspective, aka being under your husband's course of control and manipulation. Why I am saying this is to wake you up, so you can get you and your children to safety and leave your psychopathic, narcissistic, pathological liar, predator of a husband. Factually, you are lying to yourself if you think they can change, or if they've told you they can change. Psychopaths, narcissists, PDF files are scientifically impossible to change, as they have an abnormal prefrontal cortex and amygdala since birth. Psychopathy, narcissism, which all PDF files are, they all have this brain defect. And it's impossible to change. Institutionalization is the safest option, actually. They have never, due to this brain defect, from birth, this genetic brain abnormality, they have never experienced love, empathy, or a conscience, and never will, therefore making change impossible. They are solely self-serving. All of their decisions are made solely for their sadist desires. And any time they've told you they love you, even your wedding vows are a complete lie and fabrication to build a life that looks acceptable for them in society so that they can get away with criminal acts in private, and sometimes with their offspring of your guys's. This is how you optimally get away with crimes in society, and they know that, as they've had this sadistic dark tetrad brain psyche since birth. And throughout their life, in their brain, they have planned this, and they have thought what is the most smart way for them to live, and how they should live to get away with what they want to get away with. Okay? They have planned this. And you are a piece of their facade puzzle, sadly. These are the facts of the matter. You must understand your place in their life as a breeding mule and public significant other to prove to people that they are a normal member of society. To them, that is your reason of being in their life. It is not because they love you. They are incapable of love. Remember that. These are the cold, hard facts of the matter. This is what you must radically accept. not the radical optimism delusion. You must radically accept the truth, the facts of the matter, to understand the severity and weight of the situation that you're currently complicit in, to be able to leave your psychopathic, predatory husband. They are pathological liars, okay? I've tried to get this point across, but this is a fact of your husband's brain psyche. Everything he says to you is a carefully crafted lie. When the mask of the pathological lying slips and you see the truth of their private criminal actions and behaviors, you need to believe that truth that you're seeing. Those are the facts of the matter, not the pathological lying they're doing day in, day out. Just because you see more of the pathological lie, you see more of the facade than their crimes coming to the surface, doesn't mean that the lies are true. They aren't. That's all facade. You've been living in a facade. Sadly, they've been lying to you that whole time. These are the facts that you have to wake up to. You can't just be like, oh, they'll change. They can't. You're impeding justice and impeding you and your child's safety and trauma healing by staying with your psychopathic PDF file predator of a husband. Okay, when their mask slips, you need to believe what you're seeing, because that is the reality of your husband. That is the reality of the father of your children. That is the behaviors of the man you're married to. The man that has been participating in this all the while being married to you. You are just now finding out about it happening. It's been happening for a long, long time. Probably more than just one isolated incident that accidentally, but luckily came to light. It's been okay. Your husband wouldn't openly admit to the crimes. Why would he? That would be incredibly incriminating. Of course he'll tell you he's sorry, it didn't happen, etc. Because that's how you optimally mitigate a situation as such when your criminal behavior, aka proof of your brain psyche and sexual deviancy, comes to light. Why would he openly admit to all of the evidence? That's incriminating. Kate, put things into perspective. Why would he truthfully discuss the evidence with you, honestly? That's incriminating. Put things into perspective and base your decisions and actions on the evidence, not the lies coming out of your husband's pathological lying mouth. Psychopathy and narcissism, which your husband has, is genetic, a 50% possibility to pass on, and can be diagnosed as conduct disorder in children. And as I stated, this is a brain psyche defect since birth. The children usually appear either as openly psychopathic behavior of children, or they're cold and callous and calculated. It's one or the other. It's same psyche, just how it presents. Higher IQ, usually they're more covert with their abuse. So if the child has higher IQ, naturally, and is a psychopath themselves, then they're not going to show that overtly, but they'll be more cold, calculated, and callous. Now, knowing that your husband, the father of your children, is a psychopath himself, you need to put the focus where it needs to be, which is your children, and putting them into therapy and monitoring their behavior, as it can be likely a flip of a coin that one of your children is a psychopath themselves, or conduct disorder is what it's diagnosed as I said. And institutionalization might end up being the necessary, smartest decision for a child of you and your husband's, if it's the case that they are a psychopath. And your children that have access to empathy, that are like you, they need the trauma therapy so bad. Why are you focused on trying to fix? There's no energy that should be focused on trying to fix you and your husband's relationship. It should be focused on the safety of your children and the examination of your children, so that one of your children doesn't grow up to end up being just like your husband, because his behavior is genetic and he had offspring with you and you're unaware of psychopathy and how it presents. Therefore, you could continue that cycle. This is where your focus needs to be. Any And all of the time spent defending your psychopathic pedophile husband has been a waste and actually a detriment to anyone who isn't a psychopath themselves and is part of this situation, part of the abuse from your husband. Defending your husband is actually impeding justice, and you must be aware of your part in that when you willingly stand by your husband and support him while your victims are being shamed, discredited, and left to rot with their trauma symptoms. Stand with victims, not with the predators. I don't care if he's your husband. I don't give a fuck, okay? Again, though, I know this is hard and difficult. I know. Imagine how hard and difficult it must be for the victims of your husband. Imagine that, eh?